So this is going to be my 8-month update. If you have not already watched my Project Polish update, I've had a struggle trying to get access to high-speed internet, so as soon as I can get this uploaded to you guys, I will. But anyway, I'll include the intro video up in the cards up there as well as in the description box in case this is the first video that you're watching from me. But I initially picked out 2 Urban Decay palettes at the beginning of the year, and I am trying to pan both of them and finish off as many shadows out of them as I can before the end of 2017. So I'm gonna actually start with my Urban Decay Naked palette, and I will go ahead and insert last month's progress update right now. And this is what my palette looks like after using it for 7 months. This is what my palette looks like after 8 months of use. So as you can see, I've kind of been just dabbling around between the different shadows. I haven't really pinpointed like 1 or 2 shadows to try and finish, but the dips on some of these are a little bit bigger. I've been trying to use Virgin a little bit more as like an eyebrow highlight or the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to try and see if I can finish the top portion of Sin before the next update. I think that would be a decent goal, but I did widen the pan a little bit on all of these first 4 right here. Buck is insanely tightly packed, so that one's probably still going to be hanging around at the very end of the year, but that's okay. At the end of the year, whatever's left in this palette, it's so old at that point that I'm just going to have to toss it, so I'm trying to get as much use out of it before the end of the year. But the gold one, I've used that one a couple times. I didn't hit pan on Smog. I am going to make it a goal to specifically have pan on Smog before the next update. I definitely think I can do it. I just don't reach for that kind of a tone. I'm more intrigued with other shades at the moment, but I can use it. It's a really pretty shade. It's not like, it's almost got like a bronzy, really pretty bronzy tone to it if you put it all over the lid. I think it looks really nice, so that is it there. It doesn't really have a gold tone to it when it's all over the lid, but it just looks really pretty. Let's see, Dark Horse, I have a little bit of pan in that. Dark Horse and Hustle, these two at the beginning of the year, I did not want to finish them. I just wanted to hit pan on them. And if I could get Dark Horse to look like Hustle, I'd be perfectly fine with just not touching that shadow for the rest of the year. So I'll probably dabble in Dark Horse just a little bit more until I reach that point. But I did use Toasted just a little bit more. I think I could probably use this one the same way that I use Patina. I think it's Patina. I think it's Patina from MAC. If I'm wrong and it's a different shade that I'm thinking of, then I'll put it down here at the bottom of the screen. But I think this is extremely similar to Patina, and I love wearing that one all over the lid. I think I used Hustle like once or twice just when I was using Toasted. Creep has a little bit more progress. Sometimes if I'm just using a liner on the upper lashes, I'll smudge Creep into that to just kind of soften it so it's not so harsh looking. And then I did use just a tiny bit of Gunmetal over here on the end, right over here. So I did have a little bit more progress in this one. I didn't even realize at the last update that I had hit pan on this one, but at the beginning of last month I was actually using this one and trying to come up with the look that I liked, and I was using it so much for like a week that I actually hit pan on it, and it's a little bit more oblong shaped now than it was before. Before it was more of just like a circle, like a straight up circle in the middle of it. I used this kind of Frankenstein custom shade a little bit more. This has some shadow from Dark Horse in it, and I just mixed it with more of like a yellowy green color, and I think it's really pretty. I like mixing this green custom shade with what is this one? Sidecar. I like using Sidecar wet. I feel like I'm all over the place, but I'll go on to my goals for this palette. So next time, for the next update, I really want to see how much of this top portion of Sin and Sidecar that I can finish off. I bet I could finish a decent portion out of the tops of both of those. I'm just not reaching for this palette and using it as like my all over eye look. Like I'll reach for 1 or 2 shades out of this and then I'll use other shadows. So I think I just need to start focusing on this one and solely using this one for like a week on, week off kind of thing. Maybe that would give me a little bit more progress, but that's where I'm at with my Urban Decay Naked palette at the moment. And then let me move on to my Urban Decay Feminine palette. This palette has been discontinued. When I bought mine, I got mine from Ulta and I actually paid full price for this. And then I saw that they had discounted the price like a year or 2 later, and I was kind of bummed about that. But let me go ahead and insert last month's progress update right now. And this is what my feminine palette looks like after 7 months of use. This is what my feminine palette looks like after 8 months of use. I think I had mentioned last time that I wanted to repress AC/DC. I just never got around to that, but I will do that because it's really hard to get into the edges and, you know, really get a full application on my brush, like an even application. So I definitely need to do that, but I have a nice little pan showing after I repressed Bordello. Had pan showing in that one again. This skimp right here was repressed. I have pan in that one again. Everything in here has pan on it. This is gunmetal right here, and it's actually a duplicate for I have gunmetal in my Urban Decay Naked palette, so you're never going to see progress on this shadow right here, but everything else has pan, so I'm really excited about that. So between the two palettes, I only have one more shadow, that, what was it, Smog, that's left in my Urban Decay Naked palette that I need to hit pan on, and then I'll have pan on everything, and I'll be really happy about that. But I really like this Bordello shade. It's starting to grow on me a lot more. I think this is probably one of the more wearable shades out of this palette. Skimp is a really beautiful shade. It's really nice, like at the inner corners of the eyes. I think it just brightens up any look, and it's a little bit more noticeable than Virgin from the Naked palette. I think if I repress AC/DC, it'll go a little bit quicker, and yeah, I think the pan in Hijack is just a tiny bit bigger. I mixed it with the gold from the Naked palette with Half Baked right here. That's pretty much the only way that I could use Half Baked because I'm not a big gold eyeshadow fan. So when I mix gold with this teal shade, this like greenish blue color, I feel like it really complements, the two colors really complement each other and it looks nice. So I don't think that I'm going to set any specific goals for my feminine palette because I'm really not too worried about this one. I did hit my goal of finally hitting pan on that last brown shade right here, so I mean I'll just kind of dabble in these throughout the month, what's left of September, and then definitely repress this one, and then we'll just see what my progress looks like compared to this update for next month. So anyway, I'd much rather focus my attention on the Naked palette and really use this one a little bit more than my feminine palette, not only because there's more shades in here, but because I feel like I've just not really been focusing on this one very much. Like I'll pull 1 or 2 shades out to do my eye look, but I'd rather do my entire eye look with this palette. So anyway, that was my update so far on Pan That Palette for these two palettes. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment down in the description box if I'm not already following you and you do Pan That Palette. I'll come over and check it out, or if you do it on Instagram, I'll leave my Instagram right here. Sometimes I post updates on when I hit pan on certain things on there too. So anyway, that was everything. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.